to start. All of you be on camera, without which you will not be able to learn the skills for the speaking skills. The first 3 weeks, try to put yourself on the camera so that you will understand the etiquettes, how to face the online interviews, how to talk in the interviews that is going to happen virtually, how to present yourself virtually, right? All these skills are very much important when you take the online interviews. It need not be your IELTS. Even for a job interview or even for your higher education counseling as well. If it doesn't come on the camera, if it doesn't speak confidently with the person who is counseling you or interviewing you, right? These are very important. On the on-site, it is quite easy. You'll just look at the person's face, smile, finish, gone. But on the camera, it is different, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shanta, you are logged in from 2 devices. Why did you come on camera? Okay, right, guys. Uh, shall we start? It's already 5:10.
Yes, sir.
Shall we start
Yes, sir.
or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can.
Start,
We are
sir.
good to go.
We can, right? Okay,
Yes.
great. Amazing. Beautiful. My voice is clear and clearly audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay,
All good.
great. Okay, at the same time, am I visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Nahin?
Sir.
Am I visible or not?
Yes, sir.
Visible. Great. Okay, let me see if only I am visible or something else is also visible. Okay. Is something else visible on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's visible?
Sir,
I cannot read, I can talk. Can someone read it out? If it is visible, can
Introduction to IELTS.
introduction to
IELTS.
IELTS.
TS.
Okay, great. Welcome, Mohammed. You are right on time. Okay, guys. Welcome you all to this very important competitive exam class, that is IELTS, right? It is shortly pronounced as IELTS. IELTS is pronounced as IELTS, right? Okay. Does any one of you know the full form of IELTS? Whoever gives the right answer will get a virtual chocolate. Put your efforts. Give some work. Amit, you look more confident. Want to take a chance? Anyone? Chandrakala, you want to take a chance, Kana?
International English Language Testing System.
Very good. Beautiful. I have nailed it. Right? International English Language Testing System. Okay? So, my name is Ravi Kumar. I am from Bangalore. Right? I have nearly almost 5 decades of experience. That is nearly 50 years of experience, right? Out of which I was into the Indian Army for the almost 30 years. In the Indian Army, I served as a telecom engineer. How many of you are from telecom or ECE or CE stream? Right? Then, post my retirement, I'm into this training. I have been training students across the nation for the employability skills, IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, and also competitive exams like banking and UPSC. I'm also a soft skills trainer as well as a verbal aptitude trainer, right? So we will have a small introduction, or we will try to understand what is all IELTS is about in today's session. Going forward, the more you interact, the more you participate, the more you benefit. Is my language clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Can
Yes, sir.
all of you understand my English,
Yes, sir.
my pronunciation?
Yes, sir.
Am I going fast or I'm going very slow?
Okay, sir, it is.
It is
Normal.
normal. Okay, great. So this is all about me, and this is a great. I welcome you all for this beautiful session of learning about the English language. Right? All of us know English is a native language of US, UK, and Australia. Right? It is not our native language, but still it is the second language in the Asian continent, especially in India and almost South Asian countries. So, can anyone read the welcome?
When you enter this room, learning is fun and cooperation is expected. Our positive attitude and mutual respect are the part of everything we do and say.
Right? This is what I want from all of you. This is the classroom etiquette all of you will have to maintain. Does it sounds good or does it sounds difficult?
It is good.
It is good. Mangala, what do you say? It is good or bad? Unmute. All of you keep yourself unmuted. Don't mute.
Good only.
Good only, na? All of you unmute yourself. Don't be on the muted this thing. Okay? I want to interact with each and everyone. I want to talk to each and every one of you. Fine? I know that you might be having certain issues to open up yourself on the very first day, but it is always better the more you open up on the very first day, the more you learn in the consecutive days or the upcoming days. Great. Shall we go ahead? Right.
Yes, sir.
So, what is in it? What is IELTS? We learn International English Language Testing System. So, what is in IELTS? In IELTS, there are 4 major categories which are focused mainly in the main test. The major categories or the major verticals of this test are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Listening. All of you can listen me now.
Hi, sir.
Am I clearly audible?
Yes, sir.
Right? All of
Yes,
you can
sir.
understand me,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? That's what is listening. Am I speaking?
Hi, sir.
Is my speech clear?
Hi, sir.
Yes. So all of you are talking or speaking?
Yes, sir.
No, only few of you. Right? That is the next skill. Then the third skill is about the reading skills. When we read, how to understand it, and how we can answer the questions that have been asked after reading a certain passage or certain paragraphs. Then the writing skills, right? So how good you are in writing, essays, presses, letter writing, so on and so forth. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Great. So the main focus over here is to assess the English language proficiency. How proficient you are in the language. Assess all the 4 English language skills. Those are LS or W. L is listening. S means speaking. R means reading. And W means writing.
Reading.
Normally, this abbreviation or this acronym is used in almost all the English language tests, whether it is IELTS or TOEFL or GRE or PET. Clear? So going forward, don't get confused if someone uses the word LSRW with you, right? Then most of the countries, though, like especially UK and Australia, and some states in the United States, they look out for the band 9. I hope all of you know what is the band result, right? Most of you would have been from the CBSE or ICSE stream. You know what is band, isn't it? How many of you don't know? Please, if you speak only, I can answer you, I can help you.
Sir, I don't know, sir.
You don't know, Kana, what is band? Okay. Normally, what happens when we are into the state syllabus, we get the scores for marks 100 or 150 or 200. Out of 600 or 625 or 700 marks, whatever the marks we score, right? 80%, 90%, 70%. Then they give us the percentage there, right? In the
Yes, sir.
same way, in IELTS or in CBSE or ICSE pattern, the results or the marks are announced in the band pattern. That is, band means 1 to 10. So here also 7, 8, 9. That is 70%, 80%, 90%. That's what the band 7, 8, and 9 are. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
don't get confused. Band 7 means 70 plus percent. Band 8 means 80 plus percent. Band 9 means 90 plus percentage. That's as simple as that. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then
Yes,
there
sir.
will be 2 types of exams in all the major English language tests, whether it is IELTS or TOEFL or even PTE. The first one is the generic. Generic means when a person wants to go abroad seeking a job, right? Seeking a job. The second one is the academic category. The academic is where all of you fall in, where a person wants to go abroad for higher studies, right? For higher studies. When you want to opt for higher studies after engineering or medicine or any professional courses or even any basic graduation also, you want to go for some post graduation or etc. like MS, so on and so forth, MD, you have to take this academic exam. Then one is free to choose between these 2 categories as per the requirements. That means if you want to go abroad on a job, then you will take the examination for the generic category. And if you want to go abroad for the higher studies, then you will choose the academic category. Does it make sense? Am I clear so far?
Yes.
Okay, great. Beautiful. Now, let us see why IELTS, why it is required when we are so good at English. How many of you think we are not good at English? Right? So why English or why IELTS? So it is a beneficial at every step of your career. Once you get into this IELTS stream and you take up the exam and you get a good band, even if it doesn't get a good band in the very first attempt, at least you will come to understand what are all the traits in English language, how I should talk to someone, how I can write a letter or an email, or how I should write an essay or a what do you call as a column in the newspaper or a column in the magazine. You want to become a writer, all this sort of thing, right? Then this exam has got the worldwide recognition. It is not only restricted to the 3 nations I told, but it is has the recognition across the world. It is an excellent way to improve your English language skills. Even if it doesn't want to go abroad, either for a job or for higher studies. But still, if you want to communicate with the global partners or the global colleagues of yours, global peers of yours, then it gives you a very better opportunity. It puts you onto a very good platform to have an interaction with them, right? Then it gives the high accuracy results, because here we will be learning about the grammar, what exactly the grammar in English is, how to put them and how to use them grammar, all these sort of things. And there are hundreds of centers, test centers available. So it is easy to choose your center of your choice. Okay? Then, what are the 4 tests or what are the 4 skills that are tested in IELTS? Or first one is, it is a task-based test covering all the 4 skills, as I told you earlier. That is LSRW. That is listening, speaking, writing, and reading. Each component is designed to focus on one particular skill. Means, whenever we are talking about reading part, it is focused only on the reading skills. When we talk about the speaking part, it is focused only on the speaking skills. When we come to writing and listening, same. Right? Then, what are the similarities and the differences between 2 categories that I told you earlier? That is academic and what is the another one?
Generic.
Generic, right? Okay. So why is this generic required?
To get into the jobs for abroad.
Yeah, to get a job overseas. Okay. Academics?
For higher studies.
For higher studies. Good. Beautiful. Beautiful, Chandrakala. Nice. So, what are the similarities? The more socially oriented language skills, right? Whether it is academic or generic, it is a socially oriented language skills. How you speak with your peers, how you speak with your colleagues, how you speak with your friends, how you communicate with them, whether it is a writing or speaking skills. Listening and speaking equally important in academic or professional context. If you are not good at writing, then it is a very difficult task. Then you will not be able to communicate the written communications, whether it can be a letter writing, or you want to explain about some project, or you want to send an email. All these things comes under writing skills. And the listening skills. You should understand what the other person is saying about. If you cannot understand the person who is talking with you, whatever he is talking to you, then you will not be able to reciprocate easily. Reciprocate means you will not be able to give back the answers easily, right? Then the reading and writing components are the same length in both the versions. That means reading and the writing part. will be of the same length. The context or the total content will be of the same thing. So you will be asked to read on 2 or 3 passages and then write the answers, or you will be asked to write an essay or a letter writing, that part of a thing in the writing skills, that we will learn it going forward. Then both versions have the minimum word requirement. When it comes to writing skills, both the versions, that is academic as well as the generic categories, have the same word length. That means 150 words and 250 words. What are the differences? The reading component, that is the choice of text, topics, generic, length, etc. That means why there is a difference? We should understand that. The difference there is, if it is for academic, the reading part would be more on the related to the academic consent, right? The reading would be given to about a school or an institution or about some education concerned documents, etc., etc. And if it is for generic, it will be more about the employment, about the general knowledge, so on and so forth. Then the level of difficulty of the 4 test ITES. Okay, the level of difficulty are different between the 2. Because when you write an essay or when you are reading through a passage, if it is a generic category, the standard will be more. And if it is academic, the standard will be a bit less than what the generic is. Then the writing section is again different. Even in the writing section, they will ask you to write a letter for academic and a essay. If it is for generic, then they would ask for writing the description on a pictorial or on a graphical pattern, which would be totally in consent with the job orientation part or the employment orientation parts. That's where the context and nature of the tasks are different. As I told you, for generic, it will be more about the employment part, and for academic, it will be more about the academic part. And the contextual parameters will always vary, keeping in mind whether the person is going for an academic stream or for a generic stream. Is it clear? Any doubt here for any one of you? Please open up, my dear kiddos.
No, sir.
Only Chandrakala is speaking, and I think only Chandrakala is the person who is going to take the exam.
Yes, sir. No problem.
So no problem. Others, Mangala,
No.
there are so many. Is it clear? Any doubt? Any clarifications you want to ask? Shall we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, the major 4 skills in the IELTS, right? The major 4 skills. What are those major 4 skills? Can someone tell me now? What are the 4 skills I told you now in IELTS?
Listening, speaking,
Yeah.
reading, and writing.
Yes. Listening, speaking, reading, and
Writing.
writing. Okay, LSRW. So, those 4 categories are further classified into 2 different set of skills. Okay? Try to focus here and understand how the skill varies. How these major 4 skills have been classified into 2 different skill sets. The first skill set is the receptive skill sets. Receptive means where you receive the information. That means how good you are at listening and how good you are at reading and understanding the context of the context. Right? That is the receiving part. When we read, we receive knowledge. When we listen, we receive the information. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Right? That is what the receptive skills. How good you are in receiving the knowledge or receiving the information and understanding it. That is the receptive skills. That comes the listening skills and the reading skills. So for listening skills, the test would be for 40 minutes. Overall, it is 60 minutes for all the things, but 20 minutes would be there for changeovers. So 40 minutes test would be there. There will be 40 questions with 4 audios. That means each audio would contain 10 questions. Right? So for every this thing, you will be given 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes, what it happens is 5 minutes would be for your listening. Listening the audio, each audio. One minute they will give you for listening one audio. So 4 audios, 4 minutes. Then you will have to answer them. That's what the listening skills is. Then comes the reading skills. Reading skills, 60 minutes, again 40 questions in 3 passages. Right? Reading skills would be into 2 or 3 different levels, where each reading part would contain 2 to 3 passages normally, and there will be total 40 questions that needs to be answered. Getting my point?
Yes,
So,
sir.
right. To make it more clear for you, to make it more understand how the scoring should be done. Okay? Say for 40 questions, if you want to get band 8, how many answers should be 100% correct? All of you are engineering students, science students, mathematical students. But you open up and talk, my dear kiddos. Amit,
Sir, all four skills is the good correcting, then after the good speaker.
no. Did you understand my question? If you want to get band 8 in listening and reading skills, there are 40 questions.
Yes,
If you
sir.
want to get band 8, out of 40 questions, how many questions should be perfectly correct, 100% correct?
Yes, sir.
How many questions?
Maybe 32?
Yes, 32. Why I asked Amit is, he is from Bihar. Bihar are very good at mathematics, especially trigonometry. Am I right, Amit?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes,
So
sir.
you should have answered 32 questions perfectly right. Only then you will be able to get band 8. In the same way, when it comes to productive skills, productive means when we produce something, when we give out something. Those are the 2 things. One is the writing skills, the other one is the speaking skills. Writing skills, we write and hand it over. Speaking, whatever we talk, someone else gets it. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Right, sir.
If I write an email to you, you are getting something from me or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What all I'm talking to you now, are you getting my speech or not?
Yes, sir.
You're getting some knowledge. That is some production I am giving to you all, isn't it? That's why these are called as productive skills, where we give out something. Receptive skills, where we take in something. Productive skills, where we give out something. Right? So here, the first thing is the writing skills. So writing skills will be for 60 minutes. Okay? Writing skills will be for 60 minutes. In that, one would be essay 1, the other one would be essay 2. Essay 1 may vary from academics to generic. Essay 1 may vary from academic to generic. In academic, mostly it will be letter writing. It will be a letter writing. For generic, it will be some explaining the pictorial graphs. It can be any pictorial or any graph. It can be a short writing about a particular place or a particular event or a particular incident. But for academics, it will be a letter writing with respect, which is concerned with the education sector. Getting my point? That is what is essay 1. Essay 2 is common to both. That is pure essay writing. Essay 1, you have to write it not less than 150 words. Essay 1 will be for 150 words and essay 2 will be for 250 words. Getting my point? Going forward, we will see what are the catches that comes in these sort of things. Then it will be a speaking skills. That's where I am telling you from the beginning. This is where most of the students lose their band in the speaking skills. The reason being, when you are shying here to open up your camera and to unmute your mic and talk, how will you develop that speaking skills? The more you start talking now, the more you start interacting with people, the more you develop the speaking skills. The most difficult task in IELTS, that is speaking skills and the writing skills. Why the most difficult, I'll let you know later. So you will be given a 12 to 15 minutes under which you have to introduce yourself crisply and in a very creative manner. You have to introduce yourself in a creative and crisp and clear manner. 3 C's of introduction. Don't forget that. 3 C's of introduction: creative, crisp, and clear. Then a cue card will be given. How many of you know what is cue card? I want all of you to speak, please. Mangala. Or if you don't want to speak, can you put it on the chat box? What is a cue card? How many of you can answer it in the chat box? If you don't want to talk to me, you talk to your computer, you talk to your mobile, you talk to your laptop. Ravi Kumar, rummy card playing. Wow, great. Then, what is a cue card? No ideas other than Ravi
No, sir.
Kumar? Okay. A cue card,
No,
what do you understand by cue? Yes, Mangala, you want to say something better?
no, sir, nothing.
Okay. Cue card means a small piece of paper would be given to you on which a subject would be written. You will have to talk on that subject for nearly 3 to 5 minutes. a small piece of paper in which a topic would be written. You will have to speak on that topic for 3 to 5 minutes. So even when you talk, don't forget about these 3 C's. That is, what are those 3 C's? Yes, Ravi Kumar. It will be almost like a hat night debate. Right? It will be almost like a hat night debate. You go, pick up a sheet, whatever the subject is there, whatever the topic is there, you have to speak on that. In the same way, a cue card will be given to you. You have to talk about it. Just now I told you 3 C's. What are those 3 C's? Forgot. Make a note, my dear kiddos. Make a note of the new things that you are learning.
Sir, creative, crisp and clear, sir.
Yes, very good. Creative, crisp and clear. Very good, Yuvraj. Great. Why don't you come on camera, Yuvraj? You are the famous cricketer of the nation. Huh? Who hit 6 sixers in an hour. Okay? Great. Beautiful. Beautiful, Yuvraj. Creative, crisp and clear. Even here, your speech on the topic or the given topic should be very creative, crisp
And clear.
clear. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Am I going fast?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Is it? Are all of you following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Then, once you are done with introduction, you will be given a minute's time for introduction. You have to introduce yourself in 60 seconds. That means 1 minute. 3 to 5 minutes will be for your speech on the cue card. So how many minutes you have taken now? Hardly
6.
4 to 6 minutes, right? The rest of the 4 to 6 minutes or 8 to 6 minutes would be followed with the follow-up questions. Then they will ask certain questions that might be pertaining to your introduction and also a few questions pertaining to the topic on which you spoke, that you got it on the cue card. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, what are the simple hacks? What is a hack?
A simple trick.
Trick. Na? How to conquer or how to get something, isn't it? Hacking is to get something with a simple trick. So what are the simple tricks for listening skills? Right? So that are the listening tips, how we can do better in the listening skills. The first thing is think about the context before you listen. Right? Here, what they say is before you start the audio, the topic name would be known to you, will be made you to be known. They would tell you, and you make you imagine some context. Say for example, it is about a beautiful garden or a beautiful city. You just think about what all could be there in that speech about a city or a garden or a beautiful cuisine, right? Or a tasty dish. You have to think that. Or if it is about an educational institution, what all would be there in the educational institution, what are the infrastructures that could be provided in the educational institution, so on and so forth. You have to think about the context. What could be more important in the speech that is going to be heard. Okay. Then identify the type of information you will need to listen. Right? That means whenever you are listening to something, that's what a few minutes ago I told you, make a note of it. What are the important things? Scribble down, jot it down. Right? What was the important thing I told you? What are the important 3 C's about introduction and cue card, speaking skills, 3 C's. So you should note down those sort of things. In the same way, when you listen something through the audio, you make a note of certain important things which you feel you are listening it for the first time, or this might be very important. Say for example, it is they are talking about an educational institution or a university. Say for example, your own university, right? Oxford University. Somebody is talking about Oxford University. So when they talk about Oxford University, what all could be the major points they would talk about? Right? Its year of establishment, its year of expansion, what are all the streams of education that the Oxford University is giving, right? How good the faculties are, what are the infrastructures provided to the students. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Getting my point?
Yes.
So that way, say when they talk about that year of existing, right? Year of establishing the institution. So then you make a note of that year of establishment, year of expansion. So here you write, say for example, 1940 established. So you write 1940 established. 1960 expansion. So you should write 1960 expansion. So those small notes you have to make very brief. A small, what do you call as hint points like. Okay? That is what the information that you have to jot down or note down or write down or pen down in the scribbling paper. Then read and annotate the questions before the audio is played. Okay? What does it mean? Read and annotate the questions before the audio is played. That means the questions will be displayed to you before the audio is played. Okay? So you will read and understand. Annotate means what? You understand. You try to explore what they are asking for in that particular question. Then what happens? It will be easy for you to fill in those gaps when you listen to the audio. Because you will be keeping on listening to the audio, you note down the points and then they will give you 2 minutes time to fill the gaps and you have to write down the answers. That's how it goes. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Then use the time between each section to prepare for the following sections. There will be 2 minutes or 3 minutes gap after you listen to one audio clip. I told you there will be 4 audio clips. So after you listen to the first audio clip, there will be a couple of minutes gap before they play the next audio clip. So that time gap, 2 to 3 minutes time gap, whatever you get from one audio to the another audio, try to make use of that time. That thinking about the next session. Don't worry about what has happened, what you listened, you have written, that is gone. That's why he said, don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the past. Don't think about the future. Always be in the present. Correct? If you worry about the past, then also you will miss the present. If you start thinking about the future, then also you will miss the present. So never ever worry about the past which has already happened. Never ever think about which has not yet happened, but always concentrate on presence, what is happening. So that gives you a better idea and a better enhancement in the band. Okay? Is that clear to everyone?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt for anyone, anything you need to ask so far in the listening skills tips. Of course, I will revise it once again when I take you to listening skills. Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, let us come to the reading skills. Right? What are all there in the reading skills? I already briefed in a very brief manner. Use the reading skills such as skimming and scanning. Can someone tell me skimming? What is skimming? Okay, all of you go to milk booth and get that skimmed milk, isn't it? Whatever we get that, whether it is a Tetra pack or a polythene pack, the milk, what we get, it is a skimmed milk. What do you mean by skimming? Any idea? This is where, you see, that's what the importance of the language. Skimming means, yes, Mr. Indian citizen.
Removing the surface part.
Can you come again, Mr. Indian citizen, or change your name? Else I will have to address you in the same pattern.
Yeah, so my is it like just knowing the surface knowledge?
Yes, exactly. Just knowing the surface knowledge means understanding the cream of the passage. You take out the cream out of the milk.
Yes.
That is what is skimming. That means you have to understand the cream or the pulp of that passage, whatever has been given to you in the reading. And scanning. Can someone tell me what is scanning?
Sir, removing something from the surface of liquid.
Yeah, that's right. What is scanning?
Scanning.
Looking at each and every part clearly.
Yeah. So understanding, after you take the cream, understand it very clearly what is being said in the passage. Whether it is a story or something, you try to understand it and keep note of the important things. Those are the creams. Even when you are reading something, make a habit of making a note. Whatever you feel important, just jot it down. One word, two word, or a one line. That way you should start jotting it down or noting it down. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It will help you to manage your time. So if you have already jotted down, the points are there in front of you, the clue. The clue is there in front of you to give the answer. When you answer the question, you can easily start writing the answer. Right? Then it will help you to understand the general and specific information. As I told you earlier, that is about the skimming and the scanning part. It will give you to understand the entire passage, what is there in the passage, what is the general information in that passage, and know how to approach each type of question. So here, this is a very critical point. Know how to approach each type of question. Here, each type of questions would be of different types. It can be like answering yes or no pattern, or it can be true or false pattern, or it can be given or not given pattern, or it can be partially given, not at all given pattern. So there are different patterns of questions. You should understand from the instructions of the questions. So be more clear about the instructions. Read the instructions with lot of attention, and you have to answer as per the instructions only. You cannot go out of the instructions boundary. Annotation, the best way to retain the specific information. What is annotation? Highlighting. All right. Annotate means highlighting something. We underline something in the notebook, or sometimes if we have a highlighter, we just scratch and those things. That is called as annotating, right? Or drawing a picture in your mind, or just visualizing something. So that is called as, and now if I tell someone, there's a beautiful ripe mango. Can all of you visualize mango? What is the shape of the mango? What is the color of the mango? What would be the size of the mango? Can you annotate? Can you imagine or not?
Yes, sir, we can.
You can draw a
Sir.
picture within your mind. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
That is what is annotating. Right? So you should annotate. That means you should draw a picture of it, draw an information of that thing. Then making and giving headings in your own words for subparagraphs. That means when you are reading the things, make a heading for that. Say, for example, introduction. So in the paragraph, there will be an introduction. So you write introduction. Under that heading, you write the important points. Then you write, okay, second para, or you can write first para, whichever is comfortable to you. These are the tips that you have to note down in the scribbling page that is given to you. So that when you go for answering the questions, looking at this tips, whatever you have jotted down, it will be easy for you to answer. That gives you a clue how to answer the questions. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Any
Yes.
doubts here, or anyone
Sir.
wants any clarification?
No.
No. Okay, great. Thank you. Just a minute, please. Then, what are the tips for writing skills? So this is another thing, as I have given you a couple of tips for the writing skills. It is a very challenging, especially for students, even if they are taken a generic category or the academic category, because most of the students are not used to writing nowadays. Earlier, the examination pattern was subjective and hardly 10 to 15% was objective. 80 to 85% was subjective, where you have to write lengthy answers, where you have to write paragraphs, page wise, 2 to 3 pages answer. If you write, you used to get 3 to 5 marks. But now it is entirely different. It is totally objective. Because of this pattern, most of the students, they doesn't find it comfortable to write lengthy answers. So it is a challenging part for the students. So how we start?
Sir,
Akshaya,
can you please start sharing again?
Akshaya, can you please stop sharing? Hello, Akshaya?
Just a moment, sir.
Who is this Akshaya? Hello?
Really have no idea. Akshaya, can you please stop sharing your screen?
Can you please put her out?
Sorry, sir. Can you please pardon?
Can you please put her out?
Yeah. Just a moment.
English skills ಬಗ್ಗೆ.
Okay. Is my screen visible to all?
Sir, could you please share it again?
Yeah. One sec.
Now it is visible, sir.
Okay, is
Visible,
it
sir.
clearly visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, great.
Yes, sir.
My dear kiddos, I am a very humorous person. I speak very humorously. I make a lot of jokes and I make everyone to laugh. At the same time, if someone makes mischiefs, especially the classes like this, which are very important for one's career, I am the most difficult person to be handled. Right? So don't fiddle with me. If you want to display something, if you want to share something, please be open. Ask me. I'll grant you the permission. You can display and you can talk about that, whatever you feel like. But for the God's sake, don't fiddle in between. I cannot tolerate those things. Okay. Okay, fine. Let us forget about what has happened. Now, let us get back to the tips of writing skills. So, as I told you earlier, writing skills will be in two parts. That is part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is letter writing, and part 2, that is essay 2, is essay writing. So, in both the things, what are the simple tips that if we understand and if we follow, that would be easy for us to get a good band? First of all, try to read the questions couple of times. Try to read the questions couple of times, means minimum 2 to 3 times you have to read the questions and understand. That means analyze the question, what they are asking for in the question, because the instructions itself is contained in the question itself. First, they would have asked you to tell. The question itself will be in the instruction pattern. So, never ever think that this is the question and this is the instruction. No. The entire script would be your instruction and the entire script would be your question. So, try to read it 2 or 3 times clearly, analyze it. That means paraphrase it, understand it. Then plan your paragraphs before you start writing. In writing skills, my dear kids, always how to plan it. You divide the writing into 3 parts. Divide the writing into 3 parts. The first part is the introduction. That means you have to debrief the question. That is what is being asked in the question. That is the introduction part of the question. What they have asked, what they want, and about what they want you to write. This is a debriefing of the question that you have to write it in the introduction part. That is the first part. Then comes the second part. Second part is known as the main body. Second part is known as the main body or the main content. That you can write it in 2 or 3 paragraphs. So second part, you make it as main body, or you can make it as main content, or you make it as main explanation, or you can make it as the main answers, however you feel comfortable for you to note it. That means you are just scribbling it down for your cue, for you to understand. Then you can write that in 2 or 3 paragraphs. Then the third part or the final part would be the conclusion. Conclusion, you cannot write it to your choice or your will. You cannot write the conclusion to your will. As you wish, you cannot write it. That's where I said read and analyze the question. That means in the question itself, they would have asked what to be concluded. Whether they were asking you for your opinion, or they are asking you for your suggestion, or they are asking you for what is your takeaway. So you have to understand the question. So in the question itself, the conclusion will also be asked. So the last paragraph would be of conclusion. Am I clear? How to
Yes,
divide
sir.
the writing into 3 parts, right? The first one is the introduction part, that is debriefing of the question, what is asked in the question. Second part is the main body or the main construction or the main content of the answer. The third part is again the tail of the question, that is the conclusion, which has been asked in the question itself. All these things you will get to know very clearly when we start doing the practice sessions for writing. Then, keep in mind the reader and purpose when writing. This all of us do subconsciously, right? All of us have 2 minds. One is the conscious mind, the other one is the subconscious mind. All of us do it subconsciously. So whenever you write, your mind speaks, isn't it? If you want to write, hi, Mohit, how are you doing? I am coming to your home. Before you start penning down, that comes in your mind. Am I right or wrong?
Sir.
So that's what, keep in mind the reader. What is your mind saying? Don't run while writing. The reason being, the writing will be slow. Mind travels 10 times faster than the light of the speed. The mind travels 10 times faster than the speed of the light. Then structure your writing logically and clearly. Logically means whatever you are writing, it should be in contention with the question that is being asked. That means wherever you are writing the content, that content should prove that whatever is being asked in the question, they both get gelled or both get synchronized. They both get matched. Right? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir.
Then comes decide on the position and use examples in task 2. Okay? Task 2, I told you, for both categories, whether it is academic or generic category, task 2 will be essay writing. So here in essay writing, you will have to give examples in the main body. In the main body. If you are splitting the main body into 2 paragraphs, at the end of each paragraph, you will have to give an example. If you are splitting it into 3 paragraphs, so at 3 paragraphs, you will have to give 3 examples. I'll let you know how the examples will be given and all those things. Don't bother about that. Just keep the main points in mind. Yes, I have to give an example for the main body. Does it makes it clear?
Yes, sir.
Great. Beautiful. Then the effective argument is the savior. So here, effective argument means you don't argue with the question what is being asked and you start writing against it. That is not the argument here, my child. The argument here is key, the questions. That's why I told you, when you read and analyze the question, in the question itself, they would ask you, argue on this particular point. That means agree and disagree part, both you only have to write. You are the both opponent and the, what you call it as far and against of the topic. If I say, Mitali is my best tutor, I am going to write it for Mitali also. I am only also going to write against Mitali also. That means both the ideas one should have. Again, it is a debate. Okay? So that is where effective argument means when we say for and against, it is an argument. If I say yes and you people say no, that means it becomes an argument. Why no? Yes, yes. Isn't it? Then only the argument becomes. That argument should be very effective. That means it should be within the context of the subject that is being asked to write. It should not go out of it. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes,
The
sir.
savior means if your argument is effective, it saves you. That means it takes you to a higher band. Does it make sense? Great. Then, speaking skills. I've already given tips to all the 4 skills. Still, I'm giving them in detail so that going forward, you people will not falter again and again, right? Make a small note of these things. It will be very handy for you in your future, in your career. You need not take IELTS, you need not attend TOEFL, but when you get into a job, if you are given an opportunity to go abroad from your organization, or if you have been asked to chat with the opponent or with your counterpart overseas, all these tips will be very handy for you. Right? Want to speak till the last second. If they have asked you, okay, Amit Kumar, what is your favorite dish? Amit Kumar says, my favorite dish is kachori. Okay, Amit,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me something about kachori for 5 minutes? Now, they have given you 5 minutes. Amit has to utilize the complete 5 minutes for explaining the kachori. That means how he starts explaining it. First, he gives the brief introduction about the kachori, what exactly is kachori means. Then he gives the main context of the kachori, how the kachori is prepared, what are the ingredients that are required, how it should be made. All these things he gives it in a creative manner. Then finally he gives the conclusion for that. Once the kachori is taken out of the fry pan after the deep fry, after you dry it out or after you filter the entire oil out, then serve it hot with sauce or pudina chutney or falana, tikana, jamkana. That's what the conclusion part is. So, entire the last 4 minutes, 59 seconds and 99 degrees you have to speak. You know, sir, 99 degree. We know only 90 degree, 180 degree, 360 degree. What is the split of time? How many of you know? Our what do you call as aptitude ma'am is here only, the expert in aptitude, right? Hours, minutes, seconds, degrees. Am I right? So you have to utilize till the last second. That means up to the 59th second of the 5th minute, you utilize the time. Don't close it at 4 minutes, 58 seconds also. Utilize it. And when you are speaking, don't try to bring in lot of fillers. Don't try to bring in lot of fillers, but use fillers. I'll tell you how to use fillers and what is the advantage of using fillers. But if you use the fillers too much, then it becomes a disadvantage. Clear, my dear friends?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone having any difficulties here in this?
So you said something about
No,
99 degree, right? What's that actually?
Can you please tell me your name first, my dear Indian citizen?
It's Syed.
Sayed, tell me, what's your question?
Yeah, you said something about 99 degrees. So how is it to measure the time in that?
Yeah. When you split the time is split in this way only. First comes the hour, then the minutes, third the seconds. The second 60 seconds is split into 100 degrees.
Okay, sir. Okay, because I have heard it for the first
Okay.
time. So that's why I asked you.
Because that comes in mathematics. Okay. Fine. Great.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good question. Beautiful. So that many of your friends got to know about it. Okay, then feel confident and remind yourself to relax, enjoy your conversation with your examiner. Don't be like this when you are all with me now. Be like me when you are all with each one of us. Be like Chandrakala. Be like Amit Kumar. Come on the camera. Talk confidently. Don't worry whether the answer that you are giving is right or wrong. They are not going to test you the authenticity of the answers that you are talking, that you are giving. Instead of saying kachoris are made with rice atta without wheat atta or maida, they will agree, yes, it is done with rice atta. They will agree for that. They won't say. Or if you say kachoris are made with jaggery and sugar cubes, yes, beautiful, Amit. They will tell that. They will never say, where did kachori make ya from jaggery and sugar? नहीं, कभी नहीं बोलेगा. उसमें गुड़ नहीं. Fine. Don't worry about the content is right or wrong. But worry about the rate of speech, the confidence that you speak. Because you know to make kachori, but I don't know to make kachori. I don't know what are the ingredients. So I cannot tell you whether the kachori is, you are explaining it in the right way or a wrong way. That is not my cup of tea. So don't worry about that. Be confident. Remind yourself and relax. Right? You should be always smiling like how Chandrakala is smiling now. Right? She is talking to her siblings, parents, feeling happy, feeling relaxed. Amit is looking at me so gladly and feeling relaxed. Feel relaxed. Aram se baito. Then give the answer. Enjoy your conversation with the examiner as if you are talking to a friend. Apna jigri dost, cheddi dost, whatever the dost you call it, right? उनके साथ जैसा बात करते हैं when you are talking to your very close friend, right? Buddy, what you call it as in English. Feel that confident, feel that much of free when talking to the examiner. Don't discriminate yourself from the examiner. There, especially in the speaking skills, the examiner will be your friend. He or she, whosoever takes the exam, will behave with you as a friend. They never treat you as a student or as a participant. The moment Chandrakala tells, hello, good morning, I am Chandrakala, I am from Bangalore, the garden city of India. Hi Chandra, how are you doing now? How was your day yesterday? How did you face your exam yesterday? That's how they open up. Right? That is the free flow the examiners have in the IELTS or TOEFL. So feel free. So if you are feeling free and relaxed, the confidence automatically comes into you. Then listen carefully to the questions. Whatever the questions they ask, feel free and relaxed means don't get into the complete relaxed mode. No. Listen to the questions. The moment Chandrakala says, hello, good morning, I am Chandrakala from Bangalore, the garden city, now the concrete city. This is what is called as the creativity of your introduction. Then she ends her thing, introduction, they might immediately ask, Are Chandrakala, you tell me one thing. You said your city is a garden city and how turned into the concrete city. What is that concrete city is all about? Listen what the examiner is asking you. Now, if you start explaining about earlier in 60s, 70s, and 80s, Bangalore was a garden city. It was filled with hundreds of parks are all around, right? Gardens all around. It was totally greeneries. That thing, this thing, sun rays were difficult to fall onto the earth. No. Because they are asking you the question, what is that concrete city all about? Now, you see the question, where you have to catch that latch here. They are asking you about the concrete city. Now you have to answer only about the concrete city, not the garden city. Am I making all of you clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? So when you start giving the answer, you should start saying, yes, earlier prior to 90s, it was called as garden city, but post 90s, lots of buildings are coming up, apartments are coming up, what do you call as malls are coming up, business establishments are coming up, industries are coming up, lots of flyovers are coming up, the gardens have been massacred and the buildings have been built. That's why it is called as the concrete city. So now nowhere you are talking about the garden, how it was, when it was, why it was, where it was. You are talking only about the concrete, the buildings, how the buildings are built, what are the things, constructions that are going on, right? That part you have to take care. Then use fillers and hesitations devices if you need for thinking time before answering. That's what I told you. Okay? Use fillers to a certain extent, not completely. Using fillers means the fillers are meant to think for you to. Yes, while making kachoris, you would have forgotten something to say. We normally make it out of atta. Sometimes we may use maida also. So that way you take the fillers. Don't use the fillers, I say, so, all these fillers you should not use. Right? Got my point here?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
making it clear? Right.
Yes, sir.
Realize your language skills, not your options, which are being evaluated. Okay? Realize your language skills. Means talk in your original language. They want to check your grammar. They doesn't want to check your accent. They doesn't want to check your flow of pronunciation, how you are pronouncing it. If you say education or education, often or often, listen or listen, no worries. For walking, if you say walking, but if you are talking, if you say talking, then they will catch you. But for situation, if you say situation, for education, if you say education, no worries. You need not worry about the accent of the examiner. In what accent he or she is speaking, you speak in your original language, in your original flow. The reason being, every language is, everyone knows that every language has the influence of the mother tongue. Whatever the English I speak, in my style, you cannot speak. And whatever the style you speak, I cannot speak in that language. If I start speaking in that language, that means I am doing the mimicry. I am mimicking. So don't worry about that. Clear? Use mind map to speak your cue card questions. That's what I told you. Use mind map, visualization, thinking. Just now I gave an example of a mango. Right? If your cue card says your favorite dish, so immediately Chandrakala thinks jamun. Yes, what is that jamun? How it will be, black or red or white or blue or green? You visualize that jamun, how it would be. Right? That's what the mind mapping is. Idiomatic expressions, that is the band lifter. Idiomatic expressions means you use between your sayings some idioms or some phrases. So that gives you the high band. Clear? Right. Now, what exactly you should add to your skills? That is for IELTS entire. That is LSRW. That is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. All the 4 skills. That is add power to it. So what is power? I was keeping on answering all this time. P stands for planning. You should plan how to answer different skills. I have given you the idea how to plan it. Then organizing, how to organize the answers, right? Like I told you for essay writing, how you organize the writing: introduction, main body, conclusion, right? You organize, even for reading, even for writing, even for speaking, even for listening. Then write, that is writing. In every skills I am very consistently telling you to note down the points, jot down the points, make some brief tips. That's what is writing. And editing. Once with that tips, whatever you have noted down of the questions, you start editing your answers, start writing your answers. Before you submit, revise it. Before you submit, revise it. Clear? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Could we learn something today or not? Or how many of you do feel that it was a very fake session today? Yes, Mitali, please.
Thank you so very much, sir, for giving an idea about what IELTS is, how we should work on it, and I definitely can say that students might have got an idea what exactly it is, where they need to work on, and what all things will come up in coming days, and what will they be learning in all of those coming days. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's most welcome. It's a great pleasure. So, how many of you are ready for this line? Okay, how many who are all ready? Can you all raise your virtual hand on the screen? Let me see.
Satish and Chandrakala. Satish, do you have anything to speak?
Yeah,
Telerapy.
Chandrakala raised hand. Satish, Mangala S, Chandrakala, Indian citizen. Okay, so Amit Kumar, you are not interested. Great. Okay, Yuvraj, Mangala S, very beautiful. Oh, Amit has raised his hand. Great, 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 great. Wow, great. And more hands, raised hands. Wow, beautiful. So all of you are ready for this line? Okay. As I told you in the beginning, I cannot read, I can only speak. Can someone read out what is there written?
Let's begin.
Shall we?
Yes, sir.
Now?
Absolutely.
Now?
Yes, sir.
Now shall we begin?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Wow, great. Wow, beautiful. Enthusiastic children. Right? I love, you see, the main focus here is the more you are enthusiastic, the more you are onto the camera, the more you interact, the more you learn. That is secondary whether you take the exam, any exam, not only IELTS, I'm talking to you. Even in your academics, the more you interact with your faculties, the more you interact with your friends, the more you interact with your colleagues, peers, the more knowledge you get. The result is always secondary. The primary thing is what you are doing and how you are doing. If you focus on that, my dear children, nobody can stop you or drag you behind from your success. This is what I have learned in my 50 years of work experience? Right? Okay, fine, great. Anybody having any questions, any clarifications, any personal, professional, or social or periodical doubts, clarifications, anything?
So I just wanted to ask you one more thing.
Yes, Kana.
So regarding in the IELTS,
Ah.
is it basically based on the question papers or like is it like something near to active listening on that format?
Okay, great, good question. I think you missed the first few minutes.
Yes, absolutely. That's the reason.
Right. It is like the writing part and the reading part will be in the question paper.
Okay.
Am I clear?
That means there is nothing but like listening, right?
Okay. For listening, the questions would be displayed to you, or would be the question paper would be given to you beforehand, and then an audio will be played. Sometimes even it can be a video also, but very few gets the chance to listen to the video. 95% of it would be audio only. So you have to listen to the audio carefully and note down the important points that are being told in the audio and start answering the questions. But they will give you the questions beforehand so that you read the questions and understand what is being asked in it. Does it answers your doubt?
Yes, sir. Yeah, there is, regarding that, there is one more question.
Yeah.
So in the audio means, is it like, will there be any change of accent or it will be in the same accent?
You see, the accent, most of the time it will be in the British accent.
Okay.
Right? It will be in the British accent because IELTS is conducted by British councils.
Yes.
Right? The voice would be in the British accent. And it will be very easy to understand. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
So, the more you practice that listening things, I will give you the site where you have to go, how you can practice the listening skills, all those things, how you can understand that listening part and all. Once you get into those tips, it makes it easier. But as far as the speaking skills are concerned, it will be face to face.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Only the cue card will be given to you in writing. That means one topic would be there in writing, rest all vocal. Asking the questions would be in vocal.
Okay, sir.
Got my things?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my dear friends. I think Mitali ma'am would have shared the feedback form and the attendance. So the attendance would be given to only those who have filled the feedback form. So it is a mandate like filling the feedback form, right?
Thank you so very
So
much.
it would be there in the chat box. If she has posted, just check it in the chat box because I cannot see the chat box as of now, right?
Thank you, sir, for telling them that students, you have to fill the feedback form and attendance link. The link is same, but then until and unless you'll be filling the feedback form, you won't be able to. We won't be able to mark your attendances. So please make sure that you will be filling the feedback form. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Chandrakala, are you having any question?
I think those who have raised the hand to begin the session, may lower the hands. We will begin the sessions, actual sessions from tomorrow. So you will find it more interesting when you start the session for tomorrow with the writing skills. How to write, right? So if you are good at writing and speaking, automatically your listening and reading skills, you will get through easily. Right? We will be starting the session tomorrow with the writing skills.
Students, you can even fill the feedback form later on. You can copy the link and please make sure that you'll be filling it. If you have any queries, please ask right now.
Hello, sir.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've got one more question.
Yes, please. Feel free. Feel free. No hesitations.
Yeah, that's the thing. So my question is,
Yeah.
so will it be a communication type of exam, or what type of exam will it be, the IELTS?
You see, it will be a type of mixed type of question, mixed type of exam rather, right?
Okay.
The speaking part, when you go for it, it will be almost like a communication skills. How better you can communicate, right? How better you a public speaker you can be. How good you can mingle with others. How better you can gel with others, right? That is all about these skills. Are these traits should be observed in the speaking skills because it will be face to face.
Okay, that means the person will be standing, or the person will be in front of us, right?
Yeah, both of you will be sitting like us. You are sitting in your chair and I am sitting in my chair. Just a table in between both of you that will separate both of you. Otherwise, it is one-to-one. One examiner, one attendee.
No, why I asked you this question is,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, we'll be having the knowledge for speaking, but we'll be having the shyness or like the stage fear somewhat.
That's what you have to
To
come out.
overcome that.
That's what you should come out of. That's why I was, from the beginning, I was asking all of you to come on to the screen. The moment you expose yourself to the newer world, right? Because you see, you are seeing me for the first day. Just by listening my name, you wouldn't have felt comfortable whether I should, how better I can talk to him, or whether what sort of a person he is. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Right. If I would have been talking to you, say, I know I'll mute my camera now. Whatever I talk, do you like it much?
No.
Or when I am on the camera, I am talking to you like the much?
Yeah, while on the camera.
While we are on the camera. So that's what you see. Even the speaking skills should be like that. When we are from face to face, the expressions what you make, the gestures how you make, the actions. You see, while speaking, you cannot sit like that and speak because you cannot feel yourself inferior to someone, or you cannot sit like this and speak, showing yourself something superior to someone. You cannot be like that.
Yeah.
Sitting straight, confident, doing some actions, going forward, coming backward, right? Trying to gel with the person or trying to sync with the person who is in front of you. All these things would be observed. All these skills, the body language, your vocabulary, your rate of speech, your facial expressions, your smile on the face, right? Your eye contact. That's why I told when you come on to the camera, say for example, I will tell you the tricks are how to make the eye contact if the test is going to happen on online. You do not look at the picture of the person, right? You did not look at the picture of the person or the person's photograph. Look at the camera. Now I am looking at the camera, so you feel that, all of you feel that I am talking to you, I am looking at you.
Yes.
Now, if I am looking at Chandrakala, she is at the right end of my screen. Now, if I'm looking at Chandrakala and speaking, you feel that I am looking at left and speaking, I am not looking at you.
Yes.
But to the left of my screen is Mitali ma'am. But for Mitali ma'am, she will not understand that I am looking at Chandrakala, but she feels that I am looking at her now. So that means there is no eye contact. The same way when we face the camera and talk, then it says that we are looking to everyone. Everyone is facing one another. So when you have, that shows that your eye contact is there. It's not only how you speak, how you express,
Yes.
and how you behave, how you enact yourself. I told you just a small piece of word I told. If Amit is telling about the preparation of kachori, if it tells kachori, it will be round, it will be thick, flat, nobody will understand. The same thing when you mix it up with some actions. You know how the kachoris will be? It will be round in shape. It will be like this. It will be bulged like this. No, it will be flat. And it is a small circular thing. Within that, some masala is filled. For making masala, you have to do all these ingredients. I think you know about these sort of expressions. How you move your hands, how you move your shoulder, how you make your face. All these things should be seen in the speaking skills.
Okay.
When it comes to writing or listening or other skill, then what happens? There the question paper should be there. There nobody will see you what is happening. If you are giving a physical exam, if you are going to the British Council Center and writing the exam, in Bangalore it is there in MG Road, at the end, the fag end of the MG Road, near the Trinity Circle, right?
Got it.
In the corner of the Trinity Circle where that kids camp, big kids camp is there. Next to that big kids camp is the British Council's examination center is there. If you go there, then what happens? You will be with 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 people in the one room. Like all of you write exams in your colleges. 1 or 2 invigilators would be there. There you will be having the writing and paper and other things. For listening, you will be given a different slots like the workplaces. You would have seen what is called as call centers, right?
Yes.
Or in the banks, different counters would be there. People would be sitting like that. You would be given a headphone, and you'll have to listen to that. So that way it is. Question papers would be given to you for this sort of a thing. But for speaking, only the play card will be given to you. Questions will not be given to you. Questions would be asked.
Okay.
Questions would be asked. So once you give your self-introduction, that's what I told you, how to give the self-introduction. 3 C's, right? Creative, crisp, and clear. If it doesn't forget these 3 words for both the self-introduction and giving the explanation of the cue card, then it makes you more brilliant. It takes you to the higher band. Creative introduction. I told you for Chandrakala's example, I told, hello, good morning. Don't use sir, ma'am, and all those things, right? Because as a college student, it is always there, we address the opponent with the sir, ma'am, or that thing, this thing and all. Don't use. They will tell that first they will introduce themselves. Hi, Sayed. I am Jennifer, the examiner for you today. I am going to take the interview. How are you doing, Mr. Sayed? You have to give the answers immediately, but with a profoundness, saying that, hi, Jennifer, very good morning to you. I am doing very fine. Thank you. Hope you are also doing good. You see the flow? It should go that way. But when they say, hi, Sayed, how are you? Good morning. Welcome. You say, hello, ma'am. Thank you. Then you are lost. Then you are lost. So when you start, okay, Sayed, can you tell me something about you in 1 minute or 1.5 minutes or in 90 seconds? They will not say 1 minute, they will take it in the seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 120 seconds, like that they will tell. So you should understand that. So if they tell you, hi Sayed, very nice to meet you. Can you quickly tell me about yourself in 60 seconds? So you have to see immediately, 1 minute is given to me. In 1 minute, what all I can talk. Hi Jennifer, very pleasant morning. I am Sayed from Bangalore, the garden city, the rock city, the beautiful city, the metro city, whatever you want to make the creativeness there. Right? It is the cool weather city, it is the hot weather city, or it is a no weather city, whatever you want to make. Don't worry whether, whatever the fact, but don't bluff everything. Don't bluff everything. There should be facts in it, but at the same time, something can be artificial. Something can be artificial. 90% should be fact, 10% can be artificial, wherever you add. Then, I did my basic, undergraduation from Oxford College of Engineering, from the Oxford University of Bangalore, and I am basically from Chennai or Bihar or Madhya Pradesh or Uttar Pradesh or Mumbai, Pune, whatsoever the place it is. And I loved the city so much that I got to learn a lot in my academic career here in the college, or I couldn't get much from the academically from the university, whatever you want to talk, that's left to you. That's how you give the creative, crisp and clear introduction. Post that, they'll ask you, they will give you a card. Yes, Sayed, you see, this is your cue card. Just see to it that there is a topic given to you. I'll give you 2 minutes to think over it and make a note of it, and they'll give you hand over a A4 size paper and a pencil and an eraser to you. Then think for 2 minutes about that and talk for 3 minutes on the given topic. Or sometimes immediately after your self-introduction, they might ask you, yes, Sayed, you said you are from Jharkhand, of Ranchi of Jharkhand. I think MS Dhoni belongs to your city. Am I right? Yes. MS Dhoni is a proud cricketer from my city, from Jharkhand. I am also from Ranchi. You tell them, they say, okay, Sayed. So here comes your cue card. Talk for 3 minutes about MS Dhoni. I am giving you 2 minutes to think about it. It might come that way also.
Okay.
It might come that way also. Right? So once they give you the cue card, the topic, they would have told you or they might not tell you. It can be either way. Once you see, okay, once you are given a A4 size sheet paper and a pencil, then you start scribbling down, noting down MS Dhoni. What I told you, make it as 3 points. When you are talking about a person, introduction about MS Dhoni. How to start about MS Dhoni, right? Then, what was MS Dhoni? Then you have to give a brief context about him, brief note about him. Earlier, he came from a very poor family. You would have seen that movie, no? MS Dhoni's movie. I don't know what the name of the movie. Don't ask me anything about the movies. I'm nil about movies. Okay? For that, I have to call my son to help you all. Right? Okay, that way. So MS Dhoni, and then he did his basic graduation as a BA, become BSc, whatsoever it is. Then he joined the Indian Railways as a ticket collector, but he was very much inclined playing the football. But one of the person pushed him to cricket. Then he chose the wicket keeping part of it because he was a football goalkeeper. His coach asked him to do the wicket keeping, but he took it positively and practiced with dedication and devotion. That's how he became the world famous wicketkeeper and batsman, wicketkeeper batsman. Today, everybody's knock of the door is MS Dhoni. Talk of the town is MS Dhoni. You see, knock of the door, talk of the town. These are all the idioms. I told you, idioms
Yes.
that gives you the higher band. Knock of the door is MS Dhoni. That means, if you go and knock someone's door, immediately the sound comes MS Dhoni, MS Dhoni. If you ring the bill rings MS Dhoni, MS Dhoni. That is called as the knock of the door. Talk of the town means everybody in the town starts talking about MS Dhoni. That means nobody can tell that I don't know MS Dhoni. So that way you make the creativity and you speak it with crisply. That's how it goes. So then the conclusion. So in the conclusion, don't tell introduction, main body, conclusion and all, right? In the end, you say, so overall, MS Dhoni is a very classic and a very class cricketer, a footballer turning into the cricket and making the fame for the nation and the self and becoming from the multi-millionaire to multi-trillionaire in the span of 5 to 10 years. That's how you conclude it. Right? These many things you have to talk in 3 minutes or 4 minutes, whatever the time they would have given you. You plan your things, tips that way, note it down, and you speak. In writing, they would give you 2-3 passages. You have to read the passage. Then there will be questions. You have to answer the questions. In the instructions, they would have given you how to answer the questions. It could be either yes or no type or true or false type, given or not given type. That means a sentence would be given as the question and a question would be given. The answers would be given as ABCDR 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they would say, if it is a yes or no, you have to check all the 4 lines or the 4 answers, whether that answer is reflecting to the question or not. Then if it is there, you should say yes. If it is not there, you should say no. If it is true or false, that all of us know how to write true or false. If it is given, not given, is that sentence found in the paragraph or not? Here the very tricky thing is that active voice, passive voice in English.
Okay.
It might be there in a passive voice in the passage, but the answer would be in the active voice. Most of us, if we doesn't understand what is the active voice, what is passive voice, or what is direct speech, or what is indirect speech, or what is reported speech, then what happens? We end up in writing not given.
Okay.
Right? This is all about it.
No, so there is one more question.
Yes, please.
So that is nothing but if you're giving any interviews or anything virtually, then it's an easier one because anyway the person will not be in front of us, right? So that time it will be easier for us to speak.
You see, Syed, right? If I'm telling your name.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Syed, you feel that way. It is quite easy, karke. You see what happens. Even now, when you are speaking, whenever I am talking, you are very much serious. I can make it out. But once you started speaking with me comfortably, when you felt that I can speak to sir easily, now you are showing the smiling face. All the 32 Colgate I can see. Right? So that is the confidence. So normally what happens, even on the camera, to speak to an unknown person, you feel a bit hesitant. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
And you say how much action I am doing, and you are sitting stiffly and answering. That makes all the difference. Even in front of the camera, you have to do the actions. They will see what is your body position, what is your body posture. This is called as non-verbal communication. This is the body language.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Got it. Yeah.
They will see your. That's what I told you. Even on the camera, if I am looking at Chandrakala, you feel that I am looking at someone and talking to you. If I am looking at you, also you will not feel that I am looking at you because you are at the left-hand side of my camera. When I turn my face to look at you, you feel that I am looking somewhere and talking. The same thing when I am looking at the camera, you feel that I am looking at you and talking. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, absolutely.
So all these things also makes a lot of difference. You see, this is a tip I am giving you when you are on the virtual screen. Normally, what happens, if you want to talk to me, you look at my photo and talk. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Because our mind tells, okay, now Chandrakala is on the right-hand corner of my laptop. If I have to talk to her, I am looking at her now and I am talking means she thinks I am looking at her. But now she thinks I am looking at someone. Am I right, Chandrakala?
Yes, sir.
So, facing the camera, always, to whomsoever you are talking to, you face the camera straight. So, these are the tips you have to get when you are on the online platform. When you are facing the interviews on the online. Whether it's IELTS or for your job or your higher studies counseling, whatsoever it may be. Does it
Absolutely.
make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Anybody else wants to have any questions? All the days I'm there with you guys. Even post the sessions, you can ask me the questions. You can put it in your Google classroom, right? I'll answer. I'll be there to help you all, right? If I'm not there, Mitali ma'am would be there. Even if Mitali ma'am is not there, Swati ma'am is there, any of us would reach you. As far as it is concerned to the subject, I'll always be there to answer your queries. Any generic or administrative question is there, all the three of us may answer or any one of us may answer. Okay? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Amit, कछु बोलो. Amit, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
हाँ बोलो ना कछु. Why you are muted?
I'm not understanding you hard to speak.
Huh? Okay.
I'm not understanding.
Okay, you couldn't understand what I said. Am I audible clearly or not? Sayed, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
You're audible.
Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, मैं बोला कुछ ना कुछ तो बोल दो.
अच्छा. Sir, no problem. Any no question.
No question.
No, sir.
Okay. Yuvraj, do you have any questions, beta?
Sir, one question.
Yes, beta.
I have heard that like IELTS means, sir, what it is. Like what is the IELTS means?
What is the IELTS means?
Yeah.
Full
Like
form of
program.
IELTS, right?
Yes.
International English Language Testing System. I for international, E for English, L for language, T for testing, and S for system. Got it, Yuvraj?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Meghala, do you have any questions, beta?
No, sir.
No. No questions. Okay, you give me answers now. Huh? The moment I asked, give me answer, she went off the camera. Huh? Great. Right? Okay. Anybody else?
Sir, may I please interrupt you?
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, but guys, please fill your feedback and attendance form, as I've already mentioned. That until and unless you will be filling the form, I won't be able to mark your attendances. So please make sure that you will be filling it. Without failing, you have to fill it. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Now you can carry on.
Please fill the feedback form because that is the attendance. Right? Okay, if anybody is having any questions overall there, let me see. Mridula Tiwari, Achyuta JC, do you have any questions? Nancy, Roy, or Jesse Koshi, if any one of you is having any questions, need any clarifications, please feel free.
Ravi
Yes.
sir, hi, this is Dr. Swati here.
Yeah, Swati ma'am, please.
Uh, it's for all the students. I hope you all have joined the classroom, Google Classroom. If you haven't joined, please do that. And any assignment Ravi sir will give you will be there only. So we will be posting it there itself. So just make sure that you will be in the classroom. If any one of you have not joined or any of your fellow students have not joined, then please ask them to join. And I think Mrs. Dr. Sarvana has already shared the form with all of you with the link. Okay, so just do that because it's a part of a process of your this training, so that we can keep the record of each and every activity which is happening. Thank you so much.
Thank you ma'am, thank you. Right, if all of you have filled the feedback form and nothing to be asked, Achyuta was asking something, I believe. Achyuta, can you please? Achyuta JC.
I am just faculty, just listening to you. I don't have
Okay,
any
sir. Okay,
questions.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any clarifications about the class you want to give to the students? You
No,
are most
sir.
welcome, sir.
It's going on well, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Right, if nothing is there, shall we call it a day? My dear friends,
Yes, sir.
shall we call it a day?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. What do you say, Chandrakala? Shall we call it a day or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, guys. See you all. Meet you all tomorrow at 4:45. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
Thank you,
Mitali
sir.
ma'am. Bye. I'm logging off.